Hey there, I'm Michael Weber with Weber Mortgage. Here to talk to you about the documentation that you're going to need if you're a self-employed borrower. Now, a self-employed borrower for underwriting purposes for a loan is essentially any borrower who is not W-2'd. If you're not paid W-2 income by a company who withholds taxes from your pay stubs, you are probably considered a self-employed borrower. Even if you receive all of your income from the same company, if that income is paid on a 1099 and you are paid as an independent contractor or a contract employee and no taxes are taken out of your paycheck, then you probably file a Schedule C on your tax returns and are therefore considered self-employed. Also, if you own 25% or more of a company, even if you receive W-2 wages from that company, you are still considered self-employed. So it's important to note that distinction. If you have questions about that, you need to ask your loan officer, and keep in mind that everything in the end will need to be documented. So if you feel like there's going to be a problem based on being self-employed, that is not something you want to try to hide from your loan officer. If you are self-employed, then you have a couple of different types of documentation that are probably going to be requested from you. First of all, we're going to ask for your last 2 years' personal federal tax returns. We do not need your state returns. But we will need the federal, and we will need a complete return, including the 1040, which is the first 2 pages that summarize your return, as well as any and all applicable schedules. You cannot just provide the first 2 pages and leave out Schedule A or C or E or any of the others. So make sure that you're providing your full federal return with all the schedules. In addition, any income documents that you put together to provide to your CPA to compile those tax returns are also going to be required. These might include 1099s, which again are used to compile a Schedule C. They might include K-1s, which would go on a Schedule E and would be used to identify income that you make as the owner of a company. Sometimes you'll have capital gains income in there, and also stocks. If you receive regular distributions from your stocks, then you're going to have some income from those, and you should have some documentation on that as well. So any supporting income documents that you have that you provide to your CPA, plan on providing us those for the same years that you provide your tax returns. Now, if you have not filed the previous year's tax returns, it will be important, if it's past the filing date, that you provide a copy of the extension request that you filed with the IRS. And then also, you're going to want to provide us with any documentation that has to do with this year's company. What that typically means is a profit and loss and a balance sheet on your company year to date. Now, if you don't know what these are or how to put them together, you can talk to us about them, but we would strongly recommend that you talk to your accountant or your CPA. These can be very detailed documents, but they can be very simple from our form. And they basically are going to have just some basics on there. Then you'll sign and date it, just attesting that these are accurate to the best of your knowledge. So again, 2 years tax returns, most recent 2 years federal tax returns that you filed with all schedules and all supporting income documentation. And then additionally, a profit and loss and a balance sheet for your year-to-date business, and a copy of your tax return extension if you have not filed the most recent year's return. I hope that helps you as you prepare to get ready to have your mortgage processed. And if you're not currently working with Weber Mortgage, I hope you'll pick up the phone and call me right now. I'm Michael Weber. I'm the owner and president of Weber Mortgage, and I would love to help you finance your next home.